Oh, I'm glad. Shyam Prabhuji had already sent gentle reminder to the group. I had missed sending it out.
Thank you for joining. I have a feeling the iPhone 2 is Dharanidhar Prabhu. That's my guess. Is that correct? Let's see. Ferdi, Hare Krishna Ferdi Prabhu is also joined. I think there's a program at the Krishna Lounge this evening, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Ferdi.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, there's a program tonight at the Krishna Lounge, so I'm headed there now. So I will log off at 7:15 if you don't mind.
Of course, of course.
Okay, very good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Prabhu.
Oh.
All right, so let's see. Sangeeta Mataji joined. All right, we're going to get started. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
1 second, I'm having some. All right, so, okay, let's see. I think we're having some issues. Okay, we're going to get started now. So thank you all for waiting. I'm going to share my screen. Before we start, I have a question for all of you. Anybody remember what was the topic the last time?
What was the topic? Why is Krishna?
What is the topic?
Why Krishna?
Yeah.
Krishna.
And what was the answer to the question?
Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself.
Yes, that's correct. Why Krishna? And the answer is actually, why not Krishna? That's the answer. Okay, that's how you say it. You have to ask, why not? Because we have every reason to worship Krishna. The fact that he's a personality of Godhead, the fact that he's exalted in so many scriptures, the fact that even within scriptures, Vedic scriptures, they may be apparently contradictory things, but when you look at it in a holistic way, there's no other conclusion that other than we should worship Krishna. Now today, we will talk another very interesting, we'll take up another interesting topic. Who is Lord Caitanya? Who is Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu? So that is the topic for today. And I will kind of walk us through from the very, very beginning, from the very basics. Similar to how I kind of explored from my own experience about why Krishna, I'm going to try to walk through this question, who is Lord Caitanya? Similar experience that I had, I'll also kind of try to emulate that in today's class. Right? So we'll get started. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, thank you. So, who is Lord Caitanya? When we first pull up to the ISKCON temple, it's our very first visit. It's exciting. We know for sure, So this is assuming we've never been to an ISKCON temple before, because it's the first time. And we know for sure that we'll be seeing Lord Krishna, because it says right there, Hare Krishna temple. So Krishna will be there. And the food we've heard is going to be amazing. So that's something to look forward to, something exciting. And we enter the door. Here we're being welcomed by Balaram Prabhu through the brand new peacock doors. And we excitedly enter the door. Wow, it's going to be so nice. You can already smell the fragrance of the flowers. You can smell the fragrance of the incense that's burning in the temple. You can hear the bell ringing and the mridangas playing and arati going on. And then all that is done and you walk inside. It's very peaceful after that. Then you enter inside and you notice the incredibly beautiful altars with the nice lighting and the nice domes inside and the amazingly intricate wall elements. I mean, San Diego temple is just so beautiful. Wow. And then, of course, we see the Swamiji sitting on his lion asana. There's two lions over there. So obviously, he must be the main acharya here. That's our first guess. And so we bow down our heads, touch his feet very respectfully, because that's how we're taught in India. Then we go and see Radha Krishna in the middle, and just so gorgeously dressed in the flowers and the garlands and the flowers she's holding in her hand, and Krishna is holding his flute and the jewels and the ornaments. Just amazing, breathtaking beauty. Look at his lotus feet. We feel very uplifted. Then we move on to the altar of Lord Jagannath. Many of us have heard of Lord Jagannath. Even before coming to ISKCON, Lord Jagannath is very famous, so we know him. This is Lord Krishna and his brother Balaram and his sister Subhadra. And this Jagannath Rath Yatra is very famous all over the world, but especially in India, hundreds of thousands of people go to it. It shows up on TV. People watch it. People see the news articles. So it's very, very, very famous. Then we go on to the third altar. But who is this? I don't know who this is. They're these beautiful divine personalities, obviously. And they're putting their hands up, look very saintly. The painting there of 5 personalities, of course, on the altar we have 2 personalities. They look kind of like they're made by the same craftsman or the sculptor who made the Radha Krishna deities. And they also decorate in the same way. But they're obviously not Radha Krishna. They're 2 divine male personalities. And we don't really normally see Krishna in this, like putting his hands up like that. So that's a little confusing. Who are these? So then we can ask somebody, if we have the guts to ask, because we don't let people know that we don't know what's going on. But sometimes we can ask. It's fine. And then maybe the devotee will tell us that on the left side is Lord Nityananda. The right side is Lord Caitanya. And then we start thinking, wait a minute, who are these? And then they'll say, oh, this is the incarnation of Krishna. This is the incarnation of the Lord. That Lord Nityananda is the incarnation of Balaram, and Lord Caitanya is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. It really gets us thinking, wait a minute. I know about incarnations. Throughout my childhood, I know that there are 10 incarnations of Krishna. At least that's what I've been taught. There's Dasha Avatar. There's Matsya. There's Kurma. Then there's Varaha. The Lord Nrsimha comes out of the pillar. I know these are the genuine avatars. They are scheduled. I read about them. And we taught about them. We hear the stories. We hear the story of Vamanadev and Parshuram and Lord Ram. Of course, then Balaram is there. Lord Buddha is considered, and Kalki. So those are the 10 avatars. And I don't see here in this list Chaitanya or Nityananda. So right now, that's like a little fishy already. It's like a red flag. Wait a minute. Is this like one of those cults that just takes their guru and just makes that guru into like an incarnation of God or something like that? So maybe these are just saintly people who appeared. So you ask the devotee, when did this incarnation appear? And they'll tell you 500 years ago. And you say, see, 500 years ago means, no, but if they appeared 500 years ago, somebody should have told me by now. I've grown up my whole life, living in Indian background. Nobody told me this. So what's going on? Is this like one of those things? Maybe it's a cult. I mean, Krishna is nice, Jagannath, of course. But Chaitanya and Nityananda, I don't know. Seems a little unusual to me. All right. They're not one of the 10 incarnations. I don't see Chaitanya and Nityananda in these other temples that I've been to in America. I've been to a whole bunch of temples. And in some of these temples, there's Ganesh is there's Krishna, there's Narayan, there's Sitaram, there's Shiva Parvati, there's Murugan sometimes. No Chaitanya, no Nityananda. Sometimes Nashingadev. Chaitanya, Nityananda, no, never. So I don't know what's going on. Then, of course, if you remember last time, these are some of our sources of knowledge. This is Grandma. Grandma never told me anything about Chaitanya. She told me about Ramayana stories. She told me about Krishna stories. She told me about Prahlad and Dhruva and how Narasimha came and saved Prahlad from Hiranyakashipu. So many stories. And she told me about Lord Shiva, everything, but not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I have a feeling she has no clue even about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if she has no clue, then my parents have no clue either. The priest at the temple, he never talked about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where else do I learn about our Hinduism and our Vedic things? Bollywood, of course. Lots of references to Ram, Krishna, Shiva, Shivling, all these symbols there. No reference to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. TV serials, watch Mahabharata. I know all the characters here. There's Bhim, there's Krishna, there's Draupadi, all these guys, No reference to Chaitanya. Amachitra Katha. Now, Amachitra Katha, there may be one on Chaitanya, but I didn't come across it. I didn't read all of them. It's possible, but I don't remember. So we start thinking, who is this in ISKCON? These two personalities. I have to read up on it. See, we can easily accept Krishna and Rama. First of all, we learned about them growing up. They are worshipped by millions of people. Jai Shri Ram, they're always going, You go to any part of Gujarat, they'll say Jai Shri Krishna. So Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram. Lord Krishna is worshipped in South India. Lord Krishna is worshipped in Gujarat big time. Lord Krishna is worshipped obviously in UP, Vrindavan is there. Lord Krishna is worshipped as Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. Lord Krishna is worshipped in Nepal. Everywhere, Krishna and Ram, they're worshipped. Everywhere you go, universally. Millions worship. So it's easy to accept Rama and Krishna. Reason number one. Reason number two why we can accept Krishna and Rama is because they perform miraculous pastimes. There's no end to the miracles that Krishna performed. Right? Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill. Krishna, he killed so many big demons, even as a baby, as growing up. And then Lord Ram, we know very famously, has done so many miraculous things. Like he touched his foot to a rock, released Ahalya from the curse. So we see that they perform many miracles. Easy to accept Krishna and Ram. Next, a lot of great acharyas have worshipped them. Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarka, Shankaracharya, they all worship Govinda and Rama, glorified him. Vyasadeva himself, and a whole lineage up and down worship Rama and Krishna. So it's easy to accept Lord Krishna and Lord Ram. Another point, when we sing their names, when we sing the name of Ram, it's very soothing. When I sing the name of Krishna, it's very blissful. You feel it. People chant on their beads all the time. People singing on the streets, these beautiful names. So that's kind of a proof, actually. It's a proof. And you see people doing it year after year, their whole lives, decade after decade. It's a time-tested system. And no other names can really meet up to this feeling. When you do with Krishna, name of Lord Ram, people sing it, you feel amazing. So that's another proof. It's easy to accept Krishna and Ram. Another reason why we can accept Krishna and Ram very easily is because they're emphatically described in detail as a supreme in all the dharmic scriptures. You got the Gita, you got the Ramayana, you got the Upanishads, the Vedas, the Puranas. They are everywhere. So many stories about them, so much about their philosophical position, so much about their greatness, their strength, the universal proprietorship, the supreme personality of Godhead is Krishna. And the Bhagavatam is there. So all the scriptures, practically every scripture, Lord Krishna is mentioned, Lord Ram is there. Right? So it's easy to accept. Another reason why they are easy to accept is because they appear on schedule as predicted in these universally accepted scriptures. The scriptures predict when Lord Krishna is coming. Scriptures predict when Lord Buddha is going to come. 1,000 years before Buddha came, the scriptures predicted it. And scriptures predict Kalki will come, and sure enough, he will come on time. Hundreds of thousand years from now, 400,000 years from now, he'll come. The scriptures describe all the avatars, Shastras. So they come on schedule, and so Lord Ram and Krishna, they're part of that. So you see, many, many reasons are listed for why we accept Krishna and Rama. The same criteria can be applied to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. The same criteria that we use to worship or to accept Krishna and Lord Ram, same criteria. One, that he's worshipped by millions. So today, Caitanya Mahaprabhu is actually worshipped by millions around the world, thanks to Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON. Many people now recognize Caitanya Mahaprabhu. One reason. Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu did perform many miraculous pastimes. Here in this forest of Jharkhand, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu danced with the wild animals, and they danced with him, they chanted with him, and they're embracing each other. It's quite amazing. It's a miracle. Caitanya Mahaprabhu showed that he is actually a combination of Radha and Krishna. He showed it to his very intimate devotee, Ramanand Rai. Ramanand Rai was stunned, he fainted. He showed his universal form to Advaita Acharya. So he performed quite a few miracles as Caitanya Mahaprabhu as well. Furthermore, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipped by great saints and acharyas and gurus. You have the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatt, Jeev Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami. The 6 Goswamis are very top-notch philosophers and acharyas. The greatest philosopher who ever lived on earth, believe it or not, by far is Jeev Goswami. He's one of the 6 Goswamis. And then the entire lineage, you got Narottam Das Thakur, and you got Jagannath Das Babaji, and some of the greatest teachers that walked on this earth except Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is just one lineage. There are many lineages that are spread all over the world that worship Caitanya Mahaprabhu, many great gurus and acharyas. And of course, the greatest one in our own memory is Srila Prabhupada, the biggest proponent of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's fame all over the world. Nobody has done more to spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name than Prabhupada. And we continue to do so today. Furthermore, chanting Lord Chaitanya's names, Jai Sachinandana Gaurahari. When we chant the Gaurahari's name, it gives great bliss to the heart. And this again is seen when devotees perform kirtan and remember Lord Chaitanya and sing his names, sing bhajans about him, sing glories about him. So the same reason. And then this next one is very, very important as well. There are numerous, when I say numerous, so many clear scriptural predictions of his appearance. This is the real kicker, okay? This is the real thing that drives the point home. There are so many references that clearly spell out that in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord. We'll start with a few of them. We'll give a little sampling over here. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. Everyone should know this verse. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai Yajanti Sumedhasaha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So you see, in Bhagavad Purana, some hints are given. Then Kali Yuga, he is Krishna Varnam. Means he is the incarnation of Krishna, but a Krishna. Tvisha, a Krishna. But his complexion, his skin color is not Krishna, it's not darkish. It's opposite, it's golden. See, so this prediction is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. This can only mean Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is no other incarnation in Kali Yuga that does this. In Vishnu Sahasranam is part of the Mahabharata. The 1,000 names of Vishnu are there. In the Vishnu Sahasranam, Lord Chaitanya is very clearly mentioned. The Suvarna Varna Hemanga Varanga Chandanangadi Sanyasa Kritsama Shanta Nishtha Shanti Parayana. Suvarna Varna, this is the incarnation of Vishnu, but his color is golden. Suvarna Varna. Hema Anga. Anga means his limbs. His limbs are like molten gold. So beautiful. Same color. Varanga is very beautiful, gorgeous looking. Chandanangadi, that his limbs are smeared with sandalwood pulp, chandan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to have that. Sannyasa Krit. So he's a golden colored Vishnu incarnation who takes sannyas. Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24. Sama Shanta. Sama means he's fully self-controlled and equipoised. And he's very peaceful, Shanta. Nishtha Shanti Parayana. He's rigidly fixed in Nishtha. Here is said as fixed in Nishtha of Bhakti of Krishna, chanting the holy name of Krishna. And Shanti Parayana means he's the highest abode of devotion and peace. And another meaning of Shanti Parayana means he silences the impersonal philosophers. Lord Chaitanya defeated many, many prominent philosophers who are Mayavadis in debates and converted them to Vaishnavism. So in the Vishnu Sahasranam, this line can only belong to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you can see he is an authentic incarnation of Vishnu. Then in the Vedas, we can go to Atharva Veda, where Lord Krishna himself says, Itottam krita sanyaso vatarishyami sa guno nirvedo nishkamo bhugirvana stiro atho lakanandaya kalau chatu sahasrad bodhpari pancha sahasrad bhyantare gaura varno dirghanga sarva lakshana yukta ishvara prarthito nija rasa swado bhakta rupo mishrakyo vidata yogasyam. So remember, Veda as the most ancient of all the scriptures. Atharva Veda. Krishna predicts, I will descend on the earth after the passage of 4,000 years in Kali Yuga and before the completion of 5,000 years. So around that time. I will come on the earth on the bank of Ganga. So he is born at the bank of Ganges. Mayapur is on the bank of Ganges. I will be tall. He's very tall. Like 7 foot something, close to 8 feet. Very tall. Saintly Brahmana, devotee. I will have all the auspicious symptoms of an exalted person. I will exhibit renunciation. I will have all auspicious signs. I will be a devotee practicing bhakti yoga. I will taste the rasa of my own devotional service. See, he came to taste the rasa, the flavor of devotion. So all these details are there in Atharva Veda. And it's a prediction because this was written 5,000 years ago. And Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago. See? Sam Veda is another Veda. He says similar thing. I shall come to the earth accompanied by my associates in a place by the bank of the Ganges. I will advent to save the people who are afflicted and devoured by the sins of age of Kali. I will manifest as Avadut Brahman Sannyasi. So you see, Kali is there, Brahman Sannyasi is there, bank of Ganges is there. So he's giving so many specific details. Now you may think, okay, fine, he's so many details, he's so famous, and yet how come hardly anybody knew about him until recently? Like all over India also, forget about the rest of the world. Even in India, nobody talked about him, nobody made TV serials about him. He's not referenced in movies, nothing. None of my family members talk about him. What's the deal if he's so great and if he's so recent? The reason is given in Adi Purana. It says, Aham eva dvija shrestha nityam prachanna vigraha bhagavad bhakta rupena lokan rakshami sarvada. See, prachanna vigraha. Channa means hidden or secret. So he said, I'll remain secret for a long time. I'll not come to, promote my godness, my godliness. Rather, I'll come to show how to be a devotee of Krishna. So he says, oh, Vasa Brahmanas, my disguised form, Prachanna Vigraha, is eternal. In this way, with my own form hidden from ordinary sight, I take the form of a devotee and appear among the people in general in order to establish and protect religious principles. So he's remained hidden for a long time. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu is becoming more and more famous. And it's our job to make him famous so that people listen to his message. In Garuda Purana, someone says, how specific? You need something more specific. Garuda Purana is so specific. Krishna says, Aham Purno Bhavishyami Yuga Sandho Visheshataha Maya Pure Navadvipe Bhavishyami Shachisutta. Now he's giving exact address also. See, the exact address. Aham Purno Bhavishyami. In my complete form, Bhavishya means in the future. Yuga Sandho. Yuga Sandho means when the two yugas meet. The beginning of Kali Yuga. Mayapur Navadvipe, district and town, everything is given. In Mayapur, in the area of Navadvip, I will take birth. And my mother's name also is going to be there, Shachisutta. So he says Bhavishyami twice. Bhavishyami, Shachisutta. I will come. And this Garuda Purana is also very ancient. In the same Garuda Purana, we see this Kale Pratham Sandhyayam Lakshmi Kanta Bhavishyati Taru Brahma Samipastha Sannyasi Gaura Vigraha. If you know a little bit of some Indian language, you can kind of make out. Sannyasi, Gaura means golden, Vigraha means form. He'll be a golden form sannyasi. Daru Brahma refers to Lord Jagannath. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu spent a lot of time with Lord Jagannath. He's Lakshmi Kanta, Bhavishyati in the future. So in the first Sandhya of Kali Yuga, the Lord will assume a golden form. Gaura Vigraha. First, he will be the husband of Lakshmi. Lakshmi Kanta means, of course, not just Vishnu, but husband of Lakshmi means Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's first wife's name is also Lakshmi. Lakshmi Kanto. Then he will take sannyas later on. See? Stays near Jagannath Puri. So this prediction is very specific, similar to the other one. And if that was not enough, in the Vedas there's an Upanishad. There's an actual Upanishad called Caitanya Upanishad. The whole Upanishad is about Lord Caitanya. So Prabhupada writes, this is Srila Prabhupada, he wrote, apart from the relevant scriptural evidence forwarded by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he put a lot of scriptural evidence there. Apart from those, there are innumerable statements regarding Lord Chaitanya as being the Supreme Lord himself. The following examples may be cited. From the Chaitanya Upanishad, Gaura Sarvatma Mahapurusho, Mahatma Mahayogi, Trigunatita Sattvarupo, Bhaktim Loke Kashyati. Lord Gaura, who is the all-pervading super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears as a great saint and powerful mystic, who is above the three modes of nature and is the emblem of transcendental activity. He disseminates the cult of devotion throughout the world. And besides these, the ones that I've quoted, besides these, let's see, is anybody else? Yeah, I think everyone should be admitted by now. Just want to make sure. Besides those scriptures, there are, oops, what happened here? Goodness. Stop share. Something happened to my share. Oh, my PowerPoint crashed. That's never happened before. That's very weird. Sorry about that. So besides the scriptures that I listed, there are many more. Hopefully I can open my PowerPoint again. And let's see. Sorry about that. My whole PowerPoint crashed. Weird. So I listed a bunch of other scriptures. The point being that there is no shortage of scriptural references highlighting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's position as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know, let's see if I can jump to it. Let's see, slideshow, present to view. Share my screen again. Okay, there's Devi Purana, Shvetashvatar Upanishad, Matsya Purana, Vamana Purana, Vayu Purana, many more. There are clear references that Lord Vishnu, who is Lord Ram, who came as Lord Krishna, also comes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now, maybe some of us are not so familiar with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So I will do a quick overview of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's manifest pastimes. So he was born during a lunar eclipse in Mayapur, West Bengal, at the home of Jagannath Mishra and Chachi Devi. As a baby, he would cry unless everyone would chant names of Krishna. If you chant Hare Krishna, then you'll stop crying. In this way, he hinted at his divine mission. His divine mission was to make people chant. And when he was a toddler, he did a lot of naughty things. And when Krishna also did a lot of naughty things, like eating the mud. So he did something similar. His mother once gave him sweets to eat, like mithai, really nice sweets. But instead of eating the sweets, he started eating clay instead. His mother asked, why are you doing this? And he said, look, every sweet is nothing but clay transformed. So what's the difference? Eat mud, eat sweets, the same. Everything is transformation of the earth. I said, no, look, every article in a special state is adapted to special use. When the mud is shaped in the form of a jug, you could use it as a water pot. Instead of a brick, you can use it to build a house, But as a brick, you cannot use it as a water pot. So you have to use the right form of the thing. So, he is engaging her in philosophical discussion as well and defeating this Mayavad philosophy from the beginning. Then, of course, he grew up to become a great scholar because he is a Brahmin. He was born in a Brahmin family, and he took up the occupation of Brahminical studies and also teaching. Defeated many. Whoops. So his family defeated Keshav Kashmiri, the Digvijay Pandit. As a young man, he married Lakshmi Priya. Lakshmi Priya is his first wife. And then so to earn a living, he traveled to East Bengal. However, when he was out of town during one of those travels, his wife got bitten by a snake and she passed away. So his mother was very sad and she was widowed at the time. So she asked him, "You must remarry, please." So he accepted Vishnu Priya as his wife, Vishnu Priya Devi, his second wife. Now, around the time when he was 17, he visited the town of Gaya, to offer Pindadan, the offerings that you make to your forefathers who have passed on. But there he met and accepted his Ishwarapuri, his spiritual master. And Ishwarapuri gave him initiation. And after this event of initiation, he changed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood dramatically. He was no longer interested in being a scholar and defeating people. He was just maddened by love. So just by the example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, once you take the shelter of a spiritual master, you see, then you'll be maddened by love. This is the example to follow. Always chanting Krishna's name day and night and expressing separation from Krishna. His life was changed substantially. Okay. Then, of course, he started preaching and chanting. He opened a nocturnal school. Nocturnal means nighttime school in the compound of Shiva's Pandit with his sincere followers. And all night they would just chant. He would preach, he would sing, they'd dance, express all these religious feelings. And at that point, Nityananda Prabhu, who is considered the brother of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although not literally the brother, but he is the incarnation of Balaram, he had traveled all over the country, and he joined Mahaprabhu by that time. And they would preach together. Now, the first mandate, order that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur was that, go, my dear friends, go and preach throughout the streets. Every person knock his door and ask him to sing Hari, name of Krishna, lead a holy life. And then come and report to me every evening. This is my job, my job that I've assigned to you. Just go and preach out like this. Doesn't matter who they are, just give Krishna to everybody. And so they were ordered, and they met these two very sinful men, Jagai and Madai. So drunk were they, and so sinful were they, that even when Nityananda Prabhu was asking them to chant Hare Krishna, they attacked him with the broken clay pot and made him bleed. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard who attacked my Nityananda, and he came and he said, I'm going to kill these guys. I'm going to kill these demons. And he called for his Sudarshan Chakra. And then Nityananda Prabhu said, no, my Lord, don't kill these people. In this Kali Yuga, practically everybody is a demon. If you start killing these people, you have to kill everybody. Everyone has demonic tendencies in the heart to some degree or another. So best is we just kill the demon tendency inside the heart without killing them physically. Let's give them Krishna consciousness. And so Mahaprabhu showed them mercy, and they were purified, they were forgiven, and they serve a perfect example, became pure devotees afterward. Perfect example of the power of the holy name, the power of association, the power of forgiveness, power of preaching and sharing. Then Nimai Pandit was becoming very successful in his preaching. So there's some Smarta Brahmins. Smarta means they believe in birthright, that only those who are born in Brahmin families can be Brahmins and so on. So they're kind of racist in that way. They are becoming jealous of his success, and they complained to the Muslim leader Chand Kazi that this Chaitanya is not being a proper Hindu. So the Kazi came and sent his men, and they broke the mridangas at Shiva's Pandit's house. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he marched in a protest. He led a protest. They had a huge group, 14 different groups, and they all chanted through the street, and they came in big numbers at the house of the Kazi. The Kazi was really afraid. What are these guys going to do? But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down and had a whole conversation with him, had a heart-to-heart. And then touching his body changed the heart of Kazi. The Kazi wept, he cried, and he admitted that, he should not have done it. And he felt a special influence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It cleared his doubts. So you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't use violence for this. Of course, Chandkazi was a little scared because so many people had come, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, we'll work it out through peace, through Sankirtan, through the holy names. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took the sannyas, sort of life, he traveled all over the place and he met this great scholar, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wanted to engage him to recite Vedanta Sutra. The Lord said, okay, sure, we can do that. He said, I will teach you, dear young sannyasi, I will teach you Vedanta Sutra. You are Chaitanya, nice name, I will teach you and I'll explain you. So Mahaprabhu heard the Vedanta Sutras and the explanation for 7 days. He didn't say anything. And then Sarvabhauma asked, look, you heard all these days, you didn't say anything after hearing my explanations? And Mahaprabhu said, I understood the sutras very well, the original script, I understood very well, the original text. But your explanations, I didn't understand. It seems like you're trying to twist the meanings. Sarvabhauma said, how is it that you understand the meaning of sutra, but you don't understand my commentary, which explains the sutras? If you understand sutras so well, let me have your explanations. Let me understand. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained all the sutras in his own way, very simple, clear way, without this commentary of Shankaracharya that Sarvabhauma used, the impersonal commentary. And then Sarvabhauma was very smart. He saw the truth and the beauty of the Lord's arguments. And then he surrendered to him. He said that even Shankara's commentaries were not as natural as Mahaprabhu's commentaries. So he became a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he was so much older than him, was so much more senior in learning and all that. And then just in a few days, Sarvabhauma turned into one of the greatest devotees of all time, very deeply in love with Krishna and chanting Krishna's name. And the final pastimes, from his 31st year, Mahaprabhu continued lived in Jagannath Puri with Lord Jagannath in the house of Kashi Mishra until he disappeared in 48th year. 48th, it's a very young age, but he left the planet. He kind of merged, his body merged into the deity of Gopinath. The Gopinath deity called Tota Gopinath, so he merged into the deity of Krishna. So this 18 years he spent, these last 18 years of just very deeply crying and chanting Krishna's name, just a very small place, very small room in Jagannath Puri, very intense. So even that, he showed us that this level of deep internal intensity is required when we practice bhakti. Every day we should take it. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left many teachings. He gave his teachings to his disciples. His disciples wrote great books. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings can be summarized in this one verse. This one verse in Chaitanya Matamanjasa. I'll sing this verse. It's a very nice one. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vajesha Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradharana Para. That Bhagwan Brajendra Nandana Shri Krishna is our only worshipful object. So we should worship only Krishna, but Vrajendra Nandana Krishna, the flute playing Krishna who is in Vrindavan. And so his transcendental abode is also worshipful, Vrindavan Dham. And what is the mood to worship him? The mood in which the young brides of Vrajavadhu, the gopis, especially Srimati Radhika, how they worship him, that's the highest perfectional form of worship, of love of God. And how do we understand the philosophical basis? Srimad Bhagavatam. If you have any questions, read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam alone is the immaculate scriptural evidence of this. Pramanam amalam, immaculate, spotless. And prema pumartho mahan, Krishna prem, the love of God, is a supreme objective of life, the fifth and highest goal of human life, beyond dharma, artha, kama, moksha. religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, liberation. This is the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We hold this conclusion in supreme regard and have no inclination or respect for any other conclusion or cheating opinions. So his teachings, his mission. Mahaprabhu said, Prithvi te ache jata nagaradi grama sarvatra prachara hoi ve mora nama. In every town and village, the chanting of my name will be heard. This is mission. Every town and village. In India, no. Prithivite, all over the globe. This is his mission. Not Bharate. Prithivite. Everywhere in the Prithvi. He predicted my name will be heard. And he made another prediction. He says, Ebe nama sankirtana tikshna khadagalaya antara asura jivera phelibe katiya. So taking the sharp sword of the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, Nam Sankirtan, I will root out and destroy the demonic mentality in the hearts of all the conditioned souls, like how he did for Jagai Madai. He won't take the sword and kill people. No, he'll take the sword of chanting and remove the demoniac mentality. And then what happens if they run away, some of them? Yadi papi chadi dharma dure deshe jai. Mora senapati bhakta jaibe tathai. If some sinful people, papi, chari dharma, giving up religious principles, go off to far off countries like San Diego and New Jersey, dure deshe jai. Mora senapati bhakta, then my senapati bhakta, my military commander, will come at the time to give them Krishna consciousness. Who is that senapati bhakta? Is none other than Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Who else could it have been? Srila Prabhupada is accepted globally. Srila Prabhupada is accepted globally as the Senapati Bhakta, predicted by Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. No one else has achieved so much success in spreading the holy name of Lord Krishna and Lord Caitanya all over the world as he has. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And he's already done it, so no one else is going to do it again. It's already done. We just have to keep pushing it every town and village. That's all. The very beautiful bhajan by Vasudev Ghosh. I'll just sing it real quick. It's just a few lines that glorifies him. Jaya Jaya Jagannath Shachiranandan Tribhuvana Kore Jar Charana Vandan Nilachale Sankha Chakre Gada Padmadhar Nadiya Nagare Danda Kamandalukar Keho bole pura bete Ravana badhila Golokera Vaibhava Lila Prakasha Korila Shri Radhar Bhave Be Gora Avatar Hare Krishna Nam Gora Korila Prachar Vasudeva Ghosh Bole Kori Joda Hat Jai Gaura Say Krishna Say Jagannath. So see how he's kind of, if you can make out, he's saying that this Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath, they're the same person. Tribhuvana Korejar Charana Vandan. All the three worlds, they worship his lotus feet. In Nilachal, in Jagannath Puri, he's holding Shankha Chakra Gada, Padma. He's holding the symbol of Vishnu. He's holding the conch shell, the chakra, which is the disc, the Gada, which is the club, and the Padma lotus. But in Nadia, where he comes as Mahaprabhu, he's holding Danda and Kamandalu. The Danda and Kamandalu means the stick and the water pot that is held by sannyasis. So he's saying the same person, they're holding different things like that. You see? And here also he says that Ram, he came and killed Ravan. In Goloka Vrindavan, he took the Vaibhava, the glories of Goloka, and he exhibited that here in this world. And then Shri Radhar Bhave, he's taken the emotional love and the intense love of Srimati Radharani and absorbed that in himself and has come as the golden incarnation. And he spread the Hare Krishna Naam, the Hare Krishna chanting everywhere with that intense love. So Vasudev Ghosh, the devotee who writes this, he says, Vasudev Ghosh bole, Kori joda haath. He's folding his hands together. Vasudev Ghosh bole, Kori joda haath. Jai Gaura, say Krishna, say Jagannath. That same person who is Gaura, he is the same Krishna. He's the same Jagannath. Vasudeva Ghosh bole, Kori joda haath. Jai Gaur say Krishna, say Jagannath. Vasudeva Ghosh bole, Kori joda haath. Jai Gaur say Krishna, say Jagannath. So when we go to our temple and you see Gaura, it's the same Gaura who is also Krishna, who is also Jagannath. This way we can feel the full bliss of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, of Lord Krishna, and Lord Jagannath in one place right there in San Diego. So thank you all very much for your kind attention and your time. I hope this was useful. Thank you very much. If you have any comments or questions.
One quick question, Prabhu, I have. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please go ahead.
The question is, right, we also have the Babs Swaminarayan temple, and they also have, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, another lineage, they say all the way from Krishna. I'm just curious, is it like overlaps with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lineage, or there the Babs Swaminarayan temple, they are having their own Maharaj, right? He is completely into different lineage. How to map that, Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with, I mean, I've seen that. What I have, the superficial knowledge that I've had is I know that religious founder. I'm going to mute you because I'm getting okay. But you can unmute yourself if you want to ask something. But what I'm saying is that I did come across many years ago when I was younger. There's a book called Shiksha Patri, written by the head of who they call Swaminarayan. He appeared in the 1800s. I read that book, Shiksha Patri, out of curiosity, and I read it from the beginning to the end, and the whole book had one message: exclusively you should worship Radha Krishna only. Radha Govinda worship from morning to evening. You get the deity of Radha Krishna, you offer tulsi, you offer sattvic food, you live a clean life, you chant the name of Radha Krishna. So if judging by that book purely, it is very clear that he is a saint in the Vaishnava line of worshipping Radha Krishna. Now, what happened after that, I don't know. If they change the philosophy or if they change something else, but if you just judge by the book 100% that was written by their founder, then it is purely Radha Krishna worship. He doesn't say you should worship me or anything like that. You see, now maybe they've started worshiping him, it's possible, or some other thing may have happened. I'm not that familiar, but something similar almost happened in ISKCON. When Prabhupada, in the first few years of ISKCON, when he had traveled, he had gone to another temple or something like that, then the disciples they're still fairly new, and they're like, oh my God, we're so foolish. We didn't realize Prabhupada is Krishna himself. We should have seen that coming. We should worship Prabhupada directly as the incarnation of Krishna. As soon as and they started doing that. As soon as Prabhupada heard this, he immediately took the first flight and he said, what are you guys thinking? This is nonsense. Guru cannot be worshipped like God. I am not incarnation. I am a representative of Krishna. I'm a teacher of Krishna consciousness. I'm coming in the lineage of Krishna consciousness. If I was incarnation, I'll be predicted in the scriptures. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is predicted so many places, you see. So nobody can claim to be incarnation unless they're predicted like dozens of places. They have to be. They have to come on schedule. They have to be in the scriptures. And if they're not in the scriptures, they should not be accepted as God. Yeah, if they're teaching Krishna consciousness and they're coming in lineage from Guru, Parampara that goes back to Krishna, then that should be accepted. But if those are missing, then we have to really be careful what we accept. So we have to ask those questions. So I'm not saying I'm familiar with their full details. All I'm saying is these things have to be in place. Is the incarnation that they're promoting in the scriptures thoroughly and many places, you see. And is the lineage of the Guru Parampara intact, leading up back to Krishna? If those two things are there, then it's the problem. These are objective things. It's no judgment to any particular group or religion. If you apply this objectively, then you'll be safe.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes? Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sangeeta Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. How are you?
Nice to see you.
I can't see it. To see you too. So this is a very nice lecture I have heard, because I always had this question in my mind, like why Chaitanya? And since I'm from a different Vaishnava lineage, I was thinking, and you kind of referred back to all the Puranas and all that stuff which show like there is a presence of Chaitanya, but hidden way, which was not very obvious to many people or many Hindus in India, in which I was also one of them. So that clearance, thanks for giving this lecture, because that is clearing a lot of questions that was in back of our head. So with that, I also have a question, is that you in one of your lectures earlier also you have said that, like, even if we have Lord Chaitanya's and Nityananda's picture or even a small deity, he will shower blessings and he will be blessing everybody. So I'm just trying to understand, when he can do that, what's the difference? Why Radha Krishna deities can't do that, or why Lord Chaitanya is specially doing that? So can you explain that a little bit more on that part?
Yes, yes. So, there is no real difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna. They're the same person. Jai Gaura, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath. Jagannath is the same as Krishna as Gaura. So that we saw, right? So that means in Tattva, Tattva means a philosophical base understanding. There's no difference between Vishnu, Krishna, Rama, Narsimha, Jagannath, Chaitanya. They are the same. So that is on the Tattva platform, Tattva Vichar. Then there's another thing to consider, is called Rasa Vichar. Rasa Vichar means that the Lord, he has a particular flavor of interaction. I'll give you an example. Lord Ram will not do Ras Leela with 5-10 gopis. Never. Only Eka Patni Vrat, Sita. He'll not look at any other woman. Although Lord Ram is same as Krishna, but not exactly. His rasa is different, you see. Rasa is different. With Lord Krishna, he can have Radharani with next to him, but he can have all the Ashtasakhi also 8 gopis also on the same altar, no problem. He does Ras Leela, no problem. That is his bhav, his mood. Now, what is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? The mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that he is in the mood of Radharani, but he's very magnanimous. Magnanimous means extremely lenient and extremely generous. That's what magnanimous means. Very lenient means he will completely overlook your faults, completely disregard them, and very generously give you the highest wealth. He is like a drunk billionaire who's gone on the streets throwing out big money, throwing out just fistfuls of gold. Whoever wants, come and take, I'm giving, come. He's in that mood. He goes on the streets, he chants. He's giving, giving, giving. He doesn't see anything bad in you. He doesn't even accept offenses. Just like, Nityananda was attacked. Nityananda didn't accept that as an offense. No, it's okay, fine, no problem. Maybe bleed, not a big deal. But from now on, let's stop doing these things. You chant Hare Krishna. Be as good people. You see, he forgave immediately. So because he's in the mood of never accepting offenses, and we, because we're conditioned souls in Kali Yuga, our default setting is to make offenses. We make offenses day and night. Right? Aparadha sahasrani, right? Karishe har nishamaya. I'm doing it day and night, my Lord. Please forgive me. Because Mahaprabhu is in that mood of forgiving, he will not accept offenses and he'll always be giving. That's why when we worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we get maximum benefit and no risk of making offense. With Radha Krishna worship, the standards are very high. You have to maintain a lot of cleanliness, a lot of punctuality, in terms of service. Otherwise, the aparadh can happen. Aparadh of seva aparadh. Deity worship has different standards for seva. So aparadh risk is higher with Radha Krishna. Not that Radha Krishna is not powerful. They are very powerful also. So is Jagannath. They're the same person, but in different moods. So we can approach them certainly, but in our homes, if our standards are not super duper high, which generally in homes are not easy to follow, we'd stick with Gauranga, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Gaurnita deities. In my home, I have Gaurnita deities only in my temple. So especially when you're doing work outside and we can't do 2 hours of deity seva every day, it's difficult. So that's my point that I was trying to make when I was telling you at your home, right? So that is the reason. Because the rasa is different, we approach them differently. Tattva is the same, rasa is different.
Sorry, just adding to that, like God Krishna cannot, offend, hurt any of his devotees, right? So even if they do mistake in their puja, I'm just trying to understand his rasa much more better.
So that's what I'm saying. When Radha Krishna worship, there are certain rules, and if there are rules, and if you make mistakes in certain rules, then we get a reaction for seva. It's called seva aparad. They're different kind of aparad. There's nam aparad. See, holy name is very powerful, but there's 10 offenses of holy name. So holy name, you can also make an offense, right? Similarly, there's dham aparad. Dham aparad means when you go to the holy dham, you can do something sinful there in the holy place, like Vrindavan. That is offensive. Dham is very lenient and merciful, but if you do aparad there, then we can get a reaction. So there's nam aparad, there's dham aparad. Similarly, there's seva aparad. Seva aparad means when we do some offense during service. We make an offering incorrectly. We suppose we offer food to Krishna, but before offering, I ate some of it. Oh, but that's offensive. That certain things I didn't clean. So those kind of offenses, generally we tend to do, unless we have high standard of training. And if good standard of training, then we can worship Radha Krishna. So because the standards are different for different deities, you see. Similarly, it's the standards for Gaurnita are very lenient. That's why we recommend those. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Yes, Vivek Prabhu has his hand up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Vivek Prabhu had to go to a meeting, so I'm talking here on his behalf. Thank you so much for the talk. I also had all of these questions that you spoke to, so this was very helpful. My question was regarding the Chaitanya Charitamrit literature. So I've been very interested to read it, but I've heard from a lot of people that it's kind of the PhD level endeavor. Right. So I was wondering, are there certain things you have to keep in mind before you actually start to read this? Before you start to read the Chaitanya Charitamrit, is it not approachable for someone who is still kind of a novice in this path?
It's a good question. Yes, beginners can read Chaitanya Charitamrit. But it's best to approach, and it's true that it is PhD level. Now, it's not PhD level because the language is very difficult. Language is very straightforward. Language you can read. You read the pastime, this happened, that happened, and Mahaprabhu said this, and then the devotees did this, they danced like that, and then they swooned, they fainted, this spoke, this one fainted, this one started crying. It'll be hard to understand why on earth they're doing all these things. That is what makes it PhD level. It's very difficult to follow. But it's not unapproachable. We should read. Yes, beginners can read Chaitanya Charitamrit, but it's a best approach with some guidance and some preparation. Okay? So, we should read Chaitanya Charitamrit after completing Bhagavad Gita, which is foundation for philosophy, and at least the first couple of cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you finished, say, first 2 cantos, maybe 3 cantos. So if you read Bhagavad Gita and you read the first 2 cantos, then alongside in parallel, you can start reading Chaitanya Charitamrit. Okay? Because it's considered the postgraduate study, so beginner may find it difficult in that sense. We won't have the context because there's a lot of references to the Bhagavatam. There's a lot of philosophical references, and the philosophical basis has to be established. So definitely you can read. Then other guidelines I can offer is you can read another small book. It's not that small, but it's a beginner book called Teachings of Lord Caitanya. This is written by Srila Prabhupada. Teachings of Lord Caitanya It's an abridged version of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a good introductory read. So you can read that first. See?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and a couple of other points. Read with commentaries by Prabhupada, read the purports. Approach it devotionally, not academically. Even though it's called postdoctoral, it's not an academic exercise, it's a devotional heart-to-heart exercise. It reveals deep bhakti. Read as a group with a mentor, possibly. You have senior devotees in your temple. See if they can start a circle, maybe once a week or once a month or something. So there's different ways, you see. And don't rush it, go a little bit at a time. So those are some tips I can offer, but nothing wrong in diving into it after reading Gita and all. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay. Good question. Very good. So Rakhi Mataji, you have a question.
Oh, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry, I couldn't join on time and I kept dropping off. So my question, Prabhu, I heard Sangeeta Mataji's question and you were talking about worship of Gaunitai. Actually, I have Jagannath at home, and Jagannath, when I was working maybe 20 years ago in Bangalore, TCS, that is when one of my colleagues, because I like Krishna, he gifted me, like he came as a surprise to me. So, Jagannath. So I like Jagannath. That's why he got me Jagannath, my colleague. So Jagannath is with me. So earlier bare minimum just milk offering and all. So now that I do better, but not very high standard. So I was saying that would Jagannath tolerate like substandard worship?
Yeah, see, you don't need to worry about that. You should continue worshiping Lord Jagannath. He's come into your home for some reason, so definitely. And you can pray to him to accept your offerings. You offer it to me. So you don't necessarily see in Jagannath Puri, he gets how many offerings, you know?
Yeah, 56.
Yeah, 56 offerings.
8
right?
times.
So, try to improve his standard little bit by little bit, whatever you can. Maybe standard meaning, your cleanliness, you can improve more. Timeliness. Basically, deity worship is two things: cleanliness and timeliness. That's it. And if you have a standard that you make one offering and one in the morning, one evening, then you stick to that standard. You make it one small arti in the morning. That's good enough. No problem.
Prabhuji, cleanliness I'm able to maintain. The thing is, timeliness is the thing because the kids.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can. You just do what you can because the Lord is also very kind, right? Lord Jagannath is very kind. So and definitely put a picture of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu because Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu likes to be with Jagannath. So even if you have Jagannath in your altar, you can put picture of this Panchatattva there. It's very nice. You can.
I have Guru Parampara.
Yeah. You can put a picture of Chaitanya. See, part of Guru Parampara, the head is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So
sure. I have Panchatattva and Nitai Gaur also.
That's it.
Pictures.
Yeah, Panchatattva, Nitai Gaur pictures you put on your altar is very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All right. Well, thank you all very much for joining this evening. It was a great pleasure to be with all of you. I hope you liked it. It was very basic, but I think we covered some important materials. So look forward to seeing all of you again. We do this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare.
Very nice, concise discourse about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 1 hour, Prabhu. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much.
I see Dhanidhar Prabhu is also joining.
Hare Krishna, it was really good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
It was really fun and I learned a lot of new things.
Okay, Adi, I learned a lot of new things that are really fun. Hare Krishna. We'll see you around.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much. So we'll see you next time. All right, for the next one, we'll decide when it's going to be and we'll share the link. Okay. Oh, if anyone has any suggestions, by the way, for topics that you're itching to hear about, maybe that's next time. You can submit your suggestions to Mataji and she can convey to me. All right.
Hare Krishna ji, I would really recommend discourses about one by one the avatars of the Lord. I will really recommend them.
Sure. Okay, that's a good idea. At some point we can do that. Take care.
Thank you so much.
And we also can have a discourse on like 1 hour summary on Srila Prabhupada itself. We never get a chance to read through the complete book. We have the 7 series book at home, but I decided to read. Asani started reading. So that is another topic. Thank you so much.
Sure. Good idea. 1 hour might not be enough for Prabhupada, but maybe we can do a 3
do a series.
3 hours.
Sure. Part 1, part 2, part 3.
Good idea. I'll see. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Take care.